David
Hello,
Oates.
how are you?
David Oates, how you doing this evening?
Hey, I'm doing well, and you?
I'm doing great, man. What time is it over there?
It is 11:45 Sunday morning.
Oh, okay. You go to church over there?
Hey, oh, no, not anymore.
Uh-oh.
No.
Not a church goer, because you'd probably end up reverse speeching the pastor.
Probably no. My weekends are normally pretty busy doing radio shows and training classes and all that type of stuff. So
Yeah. Okay. You're doing radio shows. Yeah, I got a graphic of your radio show that we'll put in our background. Well, David Oates, we got a lot of new viewers tonight, and it's going to go up on YouTube, and however many people's going to watch it there. But again, once you introduce yourself, how you got into reverse speech to begin with, a little bit of your history for the new viewers.
Oh, sure. Okay. All right. Well, I've been doing reverse speech for 34 years now. I started back in '84, and I heard about those backward messages in rock and roll, which was a big controversy back in the late '70s and early '80s, and I started reversing records, looking into it, and found quite what I thought were quite clear phrases in the backwards tapes, and then I started looking at it in human speech a little while later, and found these backward messages scattered all throughout speech, once every 15 or 20 seconds, and so I was just really intrigued as to what was causing it and what it was all about, and then I wrote my theory of reverse speech in 1987, where I claimed that language is bi-level, forwards as well as backwards. That as the brain is creating the sounds of speech, it's putting them together in such a way that we're saying two messages at once, one forwards and one in reverse. So, so that's the basic theory I'm putting forward, and how I got involved in it.
Okay. Well, I did my own reverse speech. I reverse speeched a Muslim saying Allah Akbar, and when I reverse speech, and when I reverse speech it said, "Kill me, I'm a freak." So, so every time they yell out Allah Akbar, they're really asking somebody to kill them. Well, I tell you what, David, welcome back to the program. We got so many nice notes here on your last visit, and we wanted to have you back. There's a lot of people. Man, I just wish I knew what they were really saying here in the United States, in the halls of power, particular to our security apparatus. Our spy agencies have been exposed through WikiLeaks for just spying on people, and on all of our devices, through our TVs, through our phones. We kind of knew that. The internet kind of knew that a long time ago, and it was just left into the conspiracy realm. But now it's been exposed. But then it's even more insidious. They discovered that they use another program when they're spying, or hack into a business software or a church or an individual they don't like, and then they drop a code in there to make it look like it came from the Russians. So everybody's thinking it's the Russians, but it's nothing but our own damn government. There's a whole lot of people in that organization. I'd like to reverse speech and get the truth of what they're really up to.
Yeah, indeed. So many people to reverse, so little time to do it. We need a whole lot more people than what we got now to unravel all these mysteries. But great fertile ground for reversing. And,
that sounds like a whole industry that could be developed from reverse speech.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now,
Go ahead.
Is the reverse speech, can it be tested scientifically and proven that it exists?
Oh, sure. Yeah, there's many ways you can do that. We've done a couple. Probably the most concrete evidence we've got is electroencephalograph testing we've done, where we've played tapes to people where we know there's reversals embedded, and from the precise moment reversal starts to the moment it finishes, there's rapid activity between the left and right brain hemisphere. And also different parts of the brain are stimulated depending on the subject matter of the reversal. So we know the brain is receiving and responding to reverse speech. We've done blind tests where we've chosen 3 groups of people, divided up into 10 people each group, and played them various tapes and asked them to hear what they hear. And this has been done under controlled tests at Monash University in Melbourne, Australia, repeated the blind test, and they found that people could hear the reversals, and they did exist as opposed to being imagination. So, there's 2 testings we've done so far. So there's a whole lot more that can be done.
Here's a question from our moderator, Jay. She asked the question: if 2 people say the same thing and you reverse it, are they saying the same thing?
Varies. Depends on the circumstances. 2 people in normal, regular conversation saying the same thing will probably not have the same reversals. They'll be different. Reversals are caused by the actual sounds of the speech and not by the words themselves. However, we have done tests where we've tried to replicate the reverse speech by saying the forward speech in exactly the same way it was said. And we can get close, but we can't get it spot on. So for a general rule of thumb, no, it will have different reversals. They won't reverse to say the same thing.
Hey, this is a question. I know you've done a lot of shows. Maybe you've never got this, but have you ever tried to reverse speech an animal?
Oh, an animal. I get asked that question every now and then.
Man.
I have done some very limited work with animals. Many years ago, I was curious, and I found a couple of reversals on some dogs, actually. What did it lean toward anything? Did you pick it? Was a dog really meowing like a cat, or what? No. Well, hang on. Look, I tell you what. Let's get it up. That's the way. That's the way to do it. Hang on, I got to find it first. I don't normally have animals out ready to play. Okay, for example, here's a dog. And backwards he says, "He hear me." So there you go.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't have many. Some people claim that they've got animals talking, but it's nothing I've really looked into.
Well, I tried. I got some chickens, and and they're always going like that, and so I tried to reverse speech them, and they were saying, "Don't fry me up, don't fry me up."
You're probably right.
Hey, here, and in fact, I heard somebody today said, I said, because David, I'm kind of in mourning still. I lost a chicken to a red-tailed hawk, and then another one got clogged up with eggs, and she had 10 eggs in there. She just looked like she's pregnant, waddling around. She died. So that left me with 3. So then I went crazy and I went and got 6 new chickens. Now I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm going to have 9 chickens in that coop taking a dump, and I'm going to have to be cleaning that thing up along. But anyway, here's what I found out. They said that if you don't name them, then you can fry them up. So just don't name them.
Oh, I see. All right.
So I don't want to do that. It's kind of an aside there. Anyway, all right. So here's a question from Dreamwalker out of our live chat for you, David Oates. Does it matter how fast you play back the reverse speech? Does it change what they say according to the speed?
Well, that's an interesting question. I have a rule that I teach in my class. Is that if the reversal changes as you vary the speed, then it's not a legit reversal. It's gibberish. It's imagination. It should stay the same. Slowing the speed down will make it easier to understand, but it should not change what it says. If it does change what it says, then I tell my students not to document it.
Mm-hmm. So, has reverse speech ever been used on a criminal case?
Not in the court of law, but I have done some work with the law enforcement agencies for the Dallas Police Department and New South Wales Police Department. Reversals have revealed the location of a murder weapon in one case and the location of a body in another. One of my analysts, a chap named Jack Johnston, who lives up in Canada, did some work for a criminal defense attorney for a couple of years on some cases and had some amazing results. It certainly can be used for the investigative side of things in terms of information gathering, but as far as a court of law, no, not at all, not yet, anyway.
Have you ever gone ghost hunting, David?
Oh, no, I haven't, but...
Okay.
But I am familiar with EVP. If that's
that's where I was heading actually. On the EVPs, electronic voice phenomena. Have you ever reverse speech those?
Yes, I have. I actually have a personal interest in EVP. So,
what's that?
Yeah, I actually have some guests on my radio show every now and then that do EVP. Yeah, I've reversed EVPs, and yeah, you can get reversals on EVPs. Let me see if I can pull one of those up real quick. Right. You're asking me to scrape the bottom of my barrel on the show today. Okay, here we have EVPs. Let me see. Where's the one I'm looking for? Okay, I think here we go.
Must you have now?
Okay, all right. So this is the EVP. It says this will stop a worldly sham. Forwards. And then backwards it says, "Hi, Caesar will not lick it." We're actually talking about reverse speech. So it's an EVP that happened in the reverse speech conversation. And
wait a minute. It sounded like the guy was gay. He's getting ready to lick it. Is that what's going on?
No. It was just an EVP we found in a reverse speech conversation.
Yeah. No, I mean, it sounds like he told Cece he wasn't going to lick us. I mean, I don't know what I was supposed to think there. Hey, let me ask you something. Over here, Donald Trump tweeted that Obama was the one behind the wiretap. Now, that could be debated. You know, obviously they say the president of the United States can't order it. But, you know, anybody with any common sense knows he put a system in place and people in place. He weaponized our United States government agencies such as the IRS has been proven, and the DHS and various government entities. So he's even spied on Fox News. He tapped the phones of Fox News and the AP reporters. It's not beyond him. He has a history of ordering our government to spy on people. Whether or not he directly ordered Trump's, obviously, I think there was in a sort of a wink and nod thing there. But so Trump tweeted that, and there was a big hullabaloo about Trump saying he wiretapped, which was in many of the newspapers. They were the ones who brought that story out. But after that, David, his tweets slowed down. Now, I'm just wondering, have you had a chance to listen to reverse speech any of his speech lately? He's almost gone in reclusive, and his tweets have slowed down. Maybe he knows something. Maybe he stepped too far. I don't know. What do you got on that?
Well, the last speech I got on him is his speech to Congress. He hasn't really made any public statement. Well, he hasn't done any press release conferences since the speech in Congress. His speech in Congress was really quite disturbing. A totally different reversals than what I would normally find on him.
Really?
Yes, and let me see if I can pull some of them up really quick. We will. Yeah, they were incongruent. Showed a concern over something, and his very first reversal is really the most important one. And he when he's starting off by this is as he's beginning his address to Congress.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Vice President.
Here he says, "It's a sin, America."
It's a sin. And
I think he's talking about some deep core corruption that is pervading Washington. It's a sin, America. He's starting off. And because normally he says "Wake up, America." I've heard him say "Wake up, America" many, many times.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something completely different. There's something going on, something different. So what it is, I don't know.
I'm wondering because how he got information enough to make a tweet. Which is his main way of communicating to the nation, to bypass the filter of our press, which is definitely left wing. But he tweeted that out, and it only can seem that somebody within the same industrial spy complex, that we still have patriots in there. and somebody, I believe, gave him that direct information, and he can't reveal who it is, I'm sure, but I'm sure there's some patriots in there. It could have been that's why he said that to begin with, because he had the goods on that. Now, as far as America in sin, those, and I relate that to what you just said, is that he may be finding out at the highest level the corruption that's in the government and things known as Pizzagate and various other, the whole apparatus, the deep, what we're calling now, is coming out as the deep state. Have you been hearing that term where you're at?
Absolutely, yes, I have. I mean, you've got all these controversies going on. Pizzagate, as you were mentioned. I mean, here he talks about the crime of the states. Listen to this.
My job is to represent the United States of America.
And here he says, the crime of the states. Did I need?
Yes, did I need?
All there. So there's a deep crime in the United States, and he's wondering, did I need all this headache? So, well, yeah. So, I think he has found, since he's been in office, an underlying level of corruption that has, quite frankly, taken him by surprise.
Yeah, it's kind of dinner table talk around the United States forever about how corrupted the government is and what they do with our tax dollars. But I think, and because the political industrial complex on both sides came against him, including the media, I think he's finding out things that corroborate what people have always believed. But I think, like you say, he probably sees it now on a scale that is unfathomable, that we cannot believe the amount of corruption that's been going on. That's maybe why it doesn't really matter in this country who's in office. Nothing has ever changed. And now we have somebody outside the system who's come in, and I don't know how you guys see it over there across the pond there, but he has changed so many things. And I think they're in fear for their jobs.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, well, like you said, he's outside the system. He's outside the box, and he's shaking things up big time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you say you've seen a change in his reverse speech, and from the last couple ones you just played, it seems that he's seeing the evil that must be all around there.
I think you're absolutely right. That's what his reversals are showing me. Like for example, here's one here.
Our veterans have delivered for this nation, and now we must deliver for them.
And here he says, Adolf, which is Adolf Hitler, Adolf, her villain.
Adolf, her villain.
Adolf, her villain.
So it's very dark reversal.
Adolf, her villain.
I think her is America, villain, and the Adolf is, gee whiz, the dark evil that exists in the halls of power that is subjugating the United States. That's how I see it.
There was, and going back to the precedent that I described of Obama's history of weaponizing our government agencies here to spy on people. One of those that came out, and I think it was last summer, that he was recording. He had his people recording Angela Merkel and various other European leaders. And it's interesting, after it was revealed that our government spy agencies, which are under the control of Obama, was recording her conversations. That's when she initiated this policy to flood her own country with Islamic immigrants, virtually changing the face of the country and throwing it into chaos and turmoil. So is it that isn't that just more evidence that Obama has been wiretapping people for a long time? And is there anything you have where he confesses that he's been doing that reverse speech-wise?
No, I don't have anything on Obama confessing that. No. But there's no doubt he has been. So, yeah.
What is the most striking? Have you reverse speech any of Obama?
Obama? Oh, yeah, I've done quite a lot of Obama over the years. You want to hear some of Obama? Some of his...
Let's hear old Barry, Bathhouse Barry. What's the boy got? Is he pining away for some bathhouse action in Chicago with some male friends?
He's just got a whole bunch of incongruent reversals. For example, let me see which ones I've got here. Okay. Where's one? Like, you know what? I'm going to go to my another file. I've got so many here. I've got literally hundreds of reversals on Obama, and it's difficult sorting through them all. So what I'm doing is I'm going to my main file here. Excuse me while I'm talking, filling in time. I navigate to the folder on my computer. Okay, so here we have some on Obama. Here we go.
Let us resolve as citizens to carry on the improbable experiment that began more than 200 years ago. Not simply declaring our principles, but living them here at home. Not simply celebrating our union, but always working to perfect it.
And here it says, I wreck it.
I wreck it.
Talking about our union. So that wasn't very good. And then we've got here's a funny one on Obama.
When President Abbas was here, I discussed some of those same issues with him. I think it's very important that the Palestinians not look for excuses for incitement.
And here he says, soon I must have sex.
So they must have sex.
What can I say?
Wow. Well, Michael Michelle wasn't giving it to him.
No.
Maybe that's why, during there was a state funeral, that the Obamas went to, and it was, I can't remember which one it was, but he was eyeing, like the Chancellor of Sweden as a blonde lady. And then, did you ever see those pictures?
No.
You got to Google them, man. So they're classic because he is like all googly eyed, and they're sitting there. There's four in a row, and he's sitting next to this Swedish woman, and then you can see Mrs. Obama giving him the death stare, and then the next picture is they look like they all got up and switched seats because she probably demanded that he go to the other side of her, for that. So it sounds to me like she wasn't giving it up, and of course, as a man, she couldn't. So, but that's interesting, that you got there. What else you got in Obama?
Oh, okay. So here we have one here.
Parents who wonder whether their kids will have the same opportunities that we had. All of that is real.
And here it says, I mess with their hope.
I miss the bad hope. I miss the bad hope.
Not very good, is it? Not very good reversals, are they?
No. So there you go. So he's not giving us hope and change. He's about the business of stealing hope.
Right.
And undermining the union.
And here we have him talking about Obamacare right at the beginning of his presidency.
That's why we were able to give health insurance to children in need. That's why we made the tax system right here in Springfield more fair and just for working families.
When he talks about health insurance, he says, this has to damn you.
This has to damn me. This has to damn me.
And
This has to damn me.
that's exactly what it did. Premiums going up by 100%, deductibles at $10,000, $13,000. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, do you guys want to roll out some Obamacare over there?
We have a very good health care system here. Yeah, we have nationalized health, and I never pay when I go to a doctor ever.
How does that work? So you just go in there and you sign a form or something. So how is it the doctors get paid?
Oh, well, the government pays them through what's called Medicare. It's the Medicare health care scheme here. They charge a 1% surcharge on your tax to cover Medicare, and that covers all your costs, all your hospital visits in a public hospital. I mean, if you want to go private hospital, you can get private health insurance. If you wish, and that will cover all the. I personally have private health insurance, and I went into hospital a couple of years ago, and it paid everything. So I had a private room, but you can get on the public system, and it's free.
Okay. What about say like Islamic immigrants or any kind of immigrants for that matter? Can they come over there to your country and get free health care?
Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
Now they don't got to pay, right?
Eh? No, they don't. No, as soon as they get in the country, well, actually, it's a bit of a controversy over here now whether they should be entitled to it or not. But yeah, immigrants, once they get into Australia, are automatically entitled to all the government services, unemployment benefits, sickness benefits.
Hey, didn't our country get in a bit of a tiff with yours about I guess maybe 1,300 Syrian refugees that were supposed to, that Obama made a deal to take them over here, and then Trump says, "Hey, I won't make that deal." Are you familiar with that episode?
Oh yeah, that was big news in Australia at the time. Yeah.
Well, who's getting them?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, send them over to Angela Merkel. Send them over to Germany, man. They could use some more.
Yeah, I guess they probably could. Germany's having their own problems as it is, aren't they?
Yeah, well, what about Sweden, man? They're having a rape-a-thon over there.
Yeah.
But
terrorism's a huge, big problem. There's no doubt about that.
Is it worth the terrorism that's going on for these countries and the riots and chaos in the streets that I've seen, the videos just smashing cars and going down the street causing chaos? Is that all worth it to say, hey, we got such a big heart that we'll just take any old refugees that comes over here? Is that all worth it?
Is that all worth it?
Yeah.
No.
Then why the country? Why are the European mainly doing it? And obviously Australia to some extent too. Why are they signing up for that?
I have no idea. All I know is Australia is very strict with our immigration.
Mm-hmm. Well, Donald Trump, he's trying to stop that from coming up over here because we don't want to have like Paris. I think in the Eiffel Tower now. I think it has a big fence, a kind of a concrete barrier around it now. Hopefully we don't have to create barriers like that in our own country, and that's what's going to happen. But I can tell you this though: they say that our Donald Trump wants to build a wall on the southern border, and they said that the crossings of the border has slowed down to a trickle just for that reason alone. Have you ever been able to reverse speech Donald Trump said that we're going to build that wall and make Mexico pay for it? I mean, reverse speech that and really come up with that.
Yeah, I've actually got a great reversal. I'm talking about the wall and Mexico paying for it. So I just got to find where I've got it now. Okay, here we go. So here we're talking about Mexico paying for the wall.
What's the difference? I want to get the wall started. I don't want to wait a year and a half until I make my deal with Mexico. So, and we probably will have a deal sooner than that. And by the way, Mexico has been so nice.
And here he says they will not deal with us.
We want to deal with us.
That's a bit of a contradiction. So he knows that Mexico are not going to do a deal with Trump for the wall. Mm-hmm. I don't know. He may do it on import tariffs or something, but.
So they're not going to pay for it. Do you know that the United States sent $320 million in aid to Mexico last year? And all they do, and they got tens of thousands of U.S. companies, and we're still sending them aid. Maybe we need to take that money and build the wall, reverse speech that. And, their president, maybe their drug, if you reverse speech it, maybe it's saying their drug lords will pay. They got a lot of money.
Yeah, maybe so.
Okay, so so back to Australia then. If you as a citizen go to get your free health care and you're waiting in line, say for a heart transplant, and then an immigrant comes in who just came across on a boat or something, who would get in first?
Oh, I don't even know how to answer that question. There's a queue. So if the Australian guys in front of the queue would get in first, sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Depends
on the order in the queue.
Okay. All right. Here's a question from Peter, who's watching in Australia. Good day, mate. Peter says, let me get this question here. It says, have you reverse speeched Hillary when she said during the final presidential debate, the bottom line on nuclear weapons is that when the president gives the order, it must be followed? Did you happen to get that one?
I will have a look. I have the whole debate. This is the okay. So let's have a look at the Hillary debate. Here we go. So what was the line again? This was
the quote is quote, the bottom line on nuclear weapons is that when the president gives the order, it must be followed.
Oh, right. You know what? No, I don't have that there. No, but I've got her talking about creating war.
No, let's hear it.
Listen to this one.
The truth is, through all these years of public service, the service part has always come easier to me than the public part.
And here she says, in the crazy muck, see war.
The crazy muck, see war.
See a war in the crazy. So yeah, with all the chaos that confronts us, she sees that the war is going to break out. So, I got quite a few from the debate. I don't know which ones. I don't know what the forwards are. Here's a great one on Hillary. Listen to this.
You have to keep working to make things better, even when the odds are long and the opposition is fierce.
And she says, "Great Satan."
Great Satan.
Great Satan. There you go. That's scary. That's scary.
Wow, that's scary. Give me some more. What else you got? What do you got on the old broom rider?
On who?
The broom rider, Hillary.
Oh, Hillary. Oh, okay. You want more on Hillary?
Yeah, more on the broom rider.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so here's this one.
That kept me working as hard as I could in the Senate on behalf of 9/11 families and our first responders who got sick from their time at Ground Zero. I was thinking of Lauren, Debbie, and all the others 10 years later in the White House Situation Room.
And here she says, worries now.
Worries now.
Yeah, that's clear.
Worries now.
But let's find a couple of good ones.
Worries now.
Okay, here she is having a go at Donald Trump.
And you know what? It also matters when he makes fun of people with disabilities. Calls women pigs.
And this one says, and I'll scam you.
And I'll scam you.
I like that one.
That's funny. Yeah, typical Hillary.
So when she's not scamming people, she's hailing Satan. That figures.
That's right.
Well, let's hear a couple more from Hillary.
You want some more from Hillary?
Oh,
okay,
love it.
Here. This is what would have happened had she been elected.
Over the past year, I've laid out my plans for defeating ISIS. We need to take out their strongholds in Iraq and Syria by intensifying the air campaign and stepping up our support.
And here she says, I'll bring us war.
Here's one
a funny one. Here's one when she was First Lady.
We are also very pleased by everything that he's been able to do, and we've loved being here. So, it kind of
Washington ways
balances itself out.
And here she says, bless the ale, this is the life.
Bless the ale, this is the life.
Bless the ale, this is the life.
That's when she was First Lady.
Bless the ale, this is the life.
It's a lot of drinking and partying. I would for that.
I wonder if Hillary's involved with Pizzagate.
Oh, you know what? I've actually got some reversals about that. Now, let me go and see if I can put my hands on that at the top. Boy, you've really got me scratching around the bottom of my computer today.
You're very good at it.
Okay, I've got some reversals on Hillary on Pizzagate. I just can't see where they are. There's Elephantis. Amanda Kleinman. No, I don't know where they are. Huh. Okay. No, sorry.
Sounds like our government hacked into your computer and stole those files.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it's more likely I put it in a folder and I can't remember what folder I put it in. Okay.
You got anything on Michael Obama?
On what?
Michelle Obama. Yeah, Michelle Obama.
Now, once again, I'll have to scrape my files and see if I can find them.
Take your time.
Michelle,
pull that butcher's file up.
If I look under Obama, let me see. Now what? She gave a speech at the convention, didn't she? So maybe I've got it in the convention speech. So we look at Hillary convention. There's No. Look, I can't put anything on the top of my head. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay. Wait a minute. Let me get this.
I give you some on Melania Trump.
Oh yeah, let's hear that. Never heard that one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now that I've said that, I got to pull it up, don't I? Okay. So Trump, Melania. Okay. Here we have Melania.
My husband's experience exemplifies growth and successful passage of opportunity to the next generation.
And here she says they share in his standard.
Nice and
clear. And here she says this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donald J. Trump is ready to serve and lead this country as the next president of the United States.
And here she says they deserve standards. So nice congruent reversals. Okay.
Now, what's the difference between non-congruent and congruent? Which one do you look for? What's the differentiation between them?
Right. Okay. Well, non-congruent reversals are when someone is not in line with what they're saying. They are either not believing what they're saying or they're deliberately lying. They will come in two forms. They will give an opposite message, like the reverse we played on Donald Trump. They will not deal with us. That's an incongruent reversal because it's saying forward we'll make a deal with Mexico and backwards they will not deal with us. The other thing you're looking for is obscenities and abuse. If you get a lot of obscenities and abuse backwards, then they're also incongruent reversals. They aren't agreeing with what the person's saying. So and congruent reversals, they're giving nice, positive, upbeat messages. There's no negativity. Okay, so and Melania is actually quite congruent. See, here's another one on her. Okay. Look at this.
These are the values Donald and I will bring to the White House.
And here she says, "We love with the seed."
We love with the seed.
In other words, like sowing things, creating new things, throwing their seeds out, making their influence felt. So there we go.
Hey, we got a question. Let's get to this question right here from Stephen Woodruff. And a while ago, you were mentioning that Donald Trump's reversals seemed that they have changed to a dark kind of form. And the question is from him, from the viewer, is that because his what he was saying became scripted? Is that
right? I think that's. I actually think that's part of it. The speech he gave at Congress was one of the first speeches he'd given that was not written by him. It was written by speechwriters and Ivanka, actually. And I don't think, given his first reversal, it's a sin America. I think that his eyes have been opened a little bit now he's in office, and he didn't believe the glowing words that he was saying. And it was not his words, not his style. And that also explains some of the negative reversals on him. See, like for example, let's play you a couple of the abusive reversals. Can I play these on the air?
Absolutely, go ahead. Everything's wide open.
Okay, all right, okay. So, for example, here we. Oh, hang on, I'm in the wrong file. This file here. So here he is.
The country's builders and artists and inventors showed off their wonderful creations.
And here he says follow and the S word.
Follow shoot.
Follow shoot.
There we go.
Follow shoot.
So that's incongruent, obviously, because he's speaking with great glowing words forwards. So here's the forwards.
The country's builders and artists and inventors showed off their wonderful creations.
So quite glowing forwards, but negative backwards. Follow blank.
Follow shoot.
Follow shoot.
So that is what we call an incongruent reversal. It's communicating an opposite message. And let me see. But then we have an interesting reversal. Here, let me play you this one. See what you make of this. Here we go.
How are you doing? How is business? They said that it's good. I asked them further, how are you doing with other countries, mainly international sales?
And here he says they love Messiah.
Further of Messiah.
Further of Messiah.
How about that, hey?
Further of Messiah.
So, I don't know. I guess he's got a strong faith.
You don't happen to have one where Obama says that the other side clings to their guns and their religion, do you?
No, I don't.
I would really like to know what he was up to when he said that. Man, those are good there. All right, we had this question from Fake Brain out of the live chat. It says, is reverse speech intentional? Do they plan the speech to get the reversal results?
No, it's not intentional. It's purely unintentional. It's an unconscious activity. None of us are aware that we're putting off these speech reversals in our speech, and we have no control over it. Well, that's not true. I've been able to get some control of it using hypnosis, but that's another story. But for the most part, everyone's ignorant of it. They don't even know it's there. And to actually compose a speech deliberately that says something backwards would be next to impossible. I just don't know how you could even do that. So it's an unconscious activity. Yeah.
By the way, one of the viewers says, I've used reverse speech a few times and I'm hooked. I'm hoping to get your courses later. David, do you have any courses in the fall?
Yes, I do. My next class starts April the 1st, so we're 2 weeks away.
Wow.
2 weeks away. It's held online. We use a GoToMeeting. It's an audio video conferencing website. We are certainly looking for people to be trained. Let me get my phone number out. If you're interested in taking training, you can call me on 503-568-7077. That's 503-568-7077. But wait till I'm finished on the show before you ring. So, and the classes are held once every 2 weeks, 3 hours each class. However, it's very, very homework heavy. There's a lot of homework to be done. That's how you learn.
Oh, of course. All right, and here's a question from Mike Knoll. It says, I am assuming reverse speech can be conducted in any language. Is there a language that produces more reverse speech than the other?
Oh, well, that's a very good question, which I can't answer on whether there's a language that produces more reverse speech than another. We've looked at 3 languages so far besides English: French, Spanish, and what's the other one? German. Sorry, French, Spanish, and German. We have found it to be in all 3 of those languages, including English. So 4. We've done no tests as to whether one language has more than the other. We haven't looked at Oriental languages, which have a different language structure altogether. We might find something completely different in Oriental languages. But it appears to be occurring in the language that we are thinking in, time of speaking. So,
have you ever reverse speech, say somebody in another language, that the reverse speech is in another language?
Yes, I have. Actually, well, let's pull up a couple of examples of them and play them for you. There's one here right now. I'm looking for...
Well, I tell you what, David, listen, we're right at the top of the hour. Why don't you look those up during a 5-minute break? And so that way I'll give you time right now to go ahead and talk about your website, your courses, or whatever. Go ahead and...
Okay, yep, sure. Website is www.reversespeech.com. Training class starts April the 1st. We'd love to have you join. We've got 15 students so far for this class, cutting off at 20, so there's 5 spots left. Give me a call after the show, 503-568-7077. That's an American number that rings at my desk here in Australia. Local call for you. So There you go.
Okay. All right, David, we're going to turn you down, and we'll be back with you in 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
hottest show on radio.
And welcome back to the Edge Television broadcast. My name is Daniel Ott. If you missed any of the exciting first hour of reverse speech from David Oates, the reverse speech expert, go to the edgeam.com website and begin to play in our main player. Additionally, we'll put it up on our YouTube channel, our TuneIn radio playlist, and podcast it as well. If we haven't had a guest on the program you'd like to see, drop me a line at edgeam@yahoo.com. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook to hear some of my great forward-speaking speech. Now let's go back all the way across the pond to Australia and bring our guest back, David Oates. David, welcome back to the program.
No worries, here I am.
Yep. Hey, did you happen to reverse speech me the last time you were on the program?
Yes, I certainly did.
Well, what do you think? Should we roll it out in the first, right now as we're coming off the hour, or do we want to go back?
We can roll it out right now.
Okay.
So let me. Hang on. Look, before I do, I just put up a couple of reversals on the foreign languages. So
that's where we ended. Let's start with that.
Yes. Yeah. So let's do this. Okay. So here we have a translator, a Chinese translator.
这有点像波黑战争。
And backwards she says, "Nasty hope was NATO, yes."
Nasty hope was NATO, yes. Nasty hope was NATO, yes.
So that's English on Chinese, and here we have Bin Laden.
الإخوة الذين احتبوا شهداء للأخ عبد العزيز المأتم.
And backwards
الذي قتل في الرياض لا حول ولا.
Says, "I will buy you the palace of evil."
There you
go. There's a couple of ones there.
I thought I heard him say, "Somebody kill me. I'm running around. I'm getting tired of running around in a sheet."
Probably right.
Well, they did kill him, but.
So let's look at you. So here we have the first one on you.
Well, that's a wrap for tonight's program. Thank you everyone for the great question tonight.
Here you use a metaphor. You say, "My wolf sounded your power."
My wolf sounded your power.
My wolf sounded your power.
And hear the emotion.
My wolf sounded your power.
Okay, wolf is a common metaphor. It's our drive, our motivation. My wolf sounded your power. I let you show people who you are and the power of your technology. I allowed you on my show and gave you a voice to get your message out, is basically what you're saying.
Wow.
Okay.
I like it. Got any more?
Oh, yeah, I got quite a few. Yeah.
On me?
Okay. On you, yeah.
Well, let's hear all of them, man.
Yeah, okay. Here's another one on you.
I have to have a recording and then send it to you to find out what the hell.
And you say, "I used innocent."
I used innocent.
I used innocent. I used innocent.
Yeah, you don't want me to analyze the recording. It's an innocent request, okay? And here I know you don't like Obama.
To play their speech backwards because I'm obviously not with them.
And here you say, "Obama's a joke."
Obama's a joke. Wow.
You got that one?
Yeah.
And you liked me as a guest.
I tell you what, we've got in our live chat, we got.
And you say, "I love you."
I love you.
I love you.
Okay.
I love you.
Let me see. Oh, gee. Here's one. They cut a deal. All right. Wonder what this one is.
And then they leave me. Is there a way that I can find out?
They cut a deal.
They cut a deal.
Huh.
They cut a deal.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They cut a deal.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Here's one on me. Let's see if I can find the reference. And I say, "Fair enough, guys." Fair enough, guys.
Fair enough, guys.
And that's
fair enough, guys.
And that's a phrase I often say forwards. Fair enough. Here's another one on me. And deceive, particularly self-deception, is actually, you say, "There's the voice, you kiss the fears." Yes, the voice, you kiss the fears. Oh, yeah.
Yes, the voice, you kiss the fears.
Oh, yeah, well, people are a bit afraid of reverse speech, but there's a voice, I'm out there spreading the word, overcoming my fears and other people's fears. I don't know. There we go. You're pretty congruent there, Daniel.
Oh, good, good. I like to be congruent, man. I mean, that sounds like it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Sorry?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's it. Oh, here's another one on you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. I mean,
you say that nemesis.
Nemesis.
Huh.
Nemesis.
Don't know what you mean.
Nemesis.
That's got to be Obama.
Yeah, that's probably Obama. Obama's a joke, as you say backwards.
Yeah, it's okay. I like that. Well, hey, I guess I'm telling the truth. When my speech is reversed, I'm telling the truth.
I guess you are. That's a good thing.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's get to a couple questions that come in while we were listening to me and you being reversed. Have you ever reverse speech the weather forecast?
Oh, no, I never have. Huh, what an interesting question. Gee whiz. No, I've never reverse speech the weather forecast.
David, well, there you go. If you get something on it, because it could say forward, it's going to rain, and backwards said we're just lying to you and it's going to be hot as hell. I don't know. But let me ask you something. How long does it take you to reverse speech someone to get?
Good question. Well, it's not. It's a time intensive process. It'll take me about 3 hours to analyze a 30-minute tape. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, if I have to also dump the reversals as well, then you can add another hour or two on top of that in terms of preparing the reversals.
Go on.
Well,
let me ask you something, David. Can you, if you had a test subject there at your studio there, or wherever it is you do the work, could you give them a prepared paragraph to see what they're saying backwards within that paragraph? I mean, or is it always have to be impromptu conversations?
Oh, no, it can be prepared paragraphs. Yeah. I mean, the best reversals occur in impromptu conversations. That is true, but you can get them in prepared speech. I got a little thing I do in my class sometimes. I get everyone around the class to say the same sentence, like, I love my mother very, very much. She's very supportive and helpful to me. So we get everyone to go around the room and say that, and you'll be amazed at different reversals we get depending on people's reaction to their mum. So.
In a unrelated question that came in earlier, I just kind of passed it over, but from your country standpoint, they asked the question: what's the percentage of Muslims in your country now?
Oh, the percentage of Muslims in our country, I think it's about 1%, 1 or 2% in Australia. Yeah, what's the percent of? No, I thought about 1 or 2%.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I'm asking a mate of mine here, see if he knows, but he doesn't know either.
Is your mate over there watching the show?
Yeah, he's in my office with me. It's actually the co-author of my first book on reverse speech, Beyond Backward Mastering, Greg Albrecht. He researched with me back in '87, and we wrote the theory of reverse speech together. So he's down with me for the weekend.
But he is watching the show?
Well, we're not watching it. We're listening.
Or just listening to it? Okay. I was going to kind of wave to him, but hello, Greg. All right, here's a question from our Fast Blast, John in Western Pennsylvania. When some people have their normal speech reversed, is it discovered that their reversals come in songs?
Oh, reverse speech has a natural sing-song tone to it anyway. You may have noticed that with the verses I play. They have this sort of melodic sing-song tone to them. So at times they can sound like songs. Sometimes you'll get reversals in poetry, which is quite interesting. Yeah. Wow. So I don't have any to show you at the top of my head. But,
that would be what we call over here, you're a poet and don't know it. That sounds like that might be a reality.
That's true. Maybe so, yeah.
Here's another question that came in from Fast Blast. It says, David, are you familiar with reverse speech analysis of Ken Welch?
Ken Welch? Yes, I am familiar with Ken Welch. Ken Welch has made a series of inaccurate predictions over the years based on faulty reverse speech analysis. I've looked at his reversals. They're really substandard. And I don't think he knows what he's doing. There you go. That's my honest opinion of Ken Welch.
Okay. All right. Have you done any reverse speech? This is from Philip in Georgia. Have you done any reverse speech of O.J. Simpson or Charles Manson?
Well, I've done both Charles Manson and O.J. Simpson. Yeah, let me see if I can.
I want to know if O.J. confesses backwards.
Oh, he certainly does. Yeah, he certainly does confess backwards. So here we have O.J. Simpson. Here we go.
After the 89 incident, I think it's pretty clear, and everything that Nicole's may have stated in our divorce decree, what she might have stated even during an argument we had in 1993, that O.J. has never touched me since that time.
And backwards, he says, it's them, slaughtered them.
You hear
that one?
I did.
And here's another one where he says, I killed them high.
And I come home and kind of leisurely got ready to go. You know, I mean, we're trying to see things.
It is, I killed them high.
Means cut their heads, right? Cut their throats?
Yeah. High on coke, I would say.
Oh, okay.
And Charles Manson. Yes, okay, Charles Manson. Okay, here's typical Charles Manson.
I'm in so many different places at once. Yeah, it would be like Satan. It would be very sharp.
And he says, I shove you. Yes, I lead the way.
I'll shove you. Yes, I lead the way. I'll shove you. Yes, I lead the way.
That's what he's doing. Yeah, he's a cult leader. He push people around and shove them. And he may have been part of the Illuminati, as this reversal would indicate.
I wasn't knocking someone's door down. I was running from that. When I got out, I was in that. I was already through that. I had that.
And here he says, he knows one eye.
He knows one eye. He knows one eye.
And again,
he knows one eye.
One eye, the Illuminati. I don't know. There you go. I got quite a few on Charles Manson, actually, and quite a few on O.J. Simpson. They're all on my website. Just
it seems to me, I think O.J. Simpson's getting ready to get out of jail.
Yes, he is getting ready to get out of jail.
You know, in the parole thing, man, they need to reverse speech him before they let him loose.
Yeah, no kidding.
Find out if he's going to kill again. Once you get a taste for blood, man, I mean, you know, a guy like that.
I know. Yeah.
And then, of course, Charles Manson will never get out. Of course, the one eye stands for the Illuminati, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
So it does make sense because Charles Manson's original mission, they said, was that he wanted to start a race war. And that seems to be what the Illuminati has always wanted. And obviously, Obama wanted a race war because he tried to foment a race war in this country every chance he had.
Right.
You don't have any reverse speech on Obama trying to start a race war, do you?
No, I don't. I don't. No.
All right, here's another question. It says, do you have any, this is from our moderator, Jade, any Lady Diana reversals?
Oh, yeah, I do have quite a few on Lady Di. She actually predicts her own death in reverse.
Yikes.
So, which is in some of her early interviews. I got some on the Queen too, talking about the death of Lady Di, which is quite devastating reversals, to be quite frank. And I'm a Princess Di. Here we go. Here's some. I'll listen to this. This is the Queen talking about the death of Di.
This week at Balmoral, we have all been trying to help William and Harry come to terms with the devastating loss that they and the rest of us have suffered.
And here she says, the fuss will serve us.
The fuss will serve us. The fuss will serve us.
There we go.
The fuss will serve us.
So she's just making the best of it. So here's a really freaky one on Di.
And Diana's mentally imbalanced. And unfortunately, that seems to have stuck on and off over the years.
And here she says, suicide your chauffeur.
Wow.
That's it. I don't know whether it was suicide, but certainly the chauffeur was killed in the car accident. So that's almost like a premonition, okay? And here she is again.
But that headline went all around the world.
And And she says, I wrote them the odd letter. And I probably wrote the royal family a strange letter. Yeah, and here she's talking about Charles.
Right. I was at the end of my tether. I was desperate. I think I was so fed up with being seen as someone who was a basket case.
And she says, our love is over, so upset.
But I love his over. So upset. I love his over. So upset.
You hear that? So there we go. There's
that was clear. Well, let me ask you something. When it seemed that she eerily predicted her death.
Yes.
If you catch a reverse speech of a personality or anybody for that matter, and it says in the reverse speech, and they're still alive, and they make a similar claim and say, my death is coming. Can you? Now, obviously, that's almost like a reverse prophecy of some sort, reverse speech prophecy. Is it possible to continue analyzing their speech enough to find out when the date would be? Would you look for a date?
I've never found a date for predicting someone's death. I've found people predicting their death, but I've never found a date. I remember a very good friend of mine who died of cancer. I was doing session work with him in the last month, and he had a reverse that said, "My death is soon," and he died 2 weeks later.
Wow.
But that's the closest I've got to getting a date.
Wow, well, that's crazy right there. Here's a question.
Here we have.
Go ahead. What do you got?
Let me just play one reversal for you. This is JFK predicting his own death. Listen to this. This is from his inaugural address.
The slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed and to which we are committed today at home and around the world.
And here he says, head is hit in the car.
Head is hit in the car. Head is hit in the car.
That's freaky.
Head is hit in the car.
Because we all know JFK's headshot. We all know because of the Zapruder film. Anyways, there you go. So what was your next question?
Well, my next question just got changed. Did you say you're just listening to the show, but you're not watching the show?
Do I think I'm just what?
You said you're not watching the show. Are you watching our chat?
Oh no, I'm not watching the chat. No, I'm just listening to you.
Okay, well, it was synchronicity there because the question came up right about JFK, right when you said, "Here's JFK." Somebody asked, "What do you got in JFK?" And then you said, well, "Here's JFK." So that was freaky.
Oh, I see. All right.
Wow.
Yeah. Look, I've looked extensively into the JFK assassination and I've blown it wide open. Let me pull a couple ones quickly for you, but I've got 200 or 300 reversals on the JFK assassination. And reverse speech pinpoints who the culprits were. Okay, let's go straight to the coup d'etat. Let's go straight to the most important one. Where are we? Okay. Here we have J. Edgar Hoover.
And that the plastic top to it was down, of course. The president had insisted upon that so that he could stand up and wave to the crowd.
He's saying the top was down. The president had insisted on that, and he says backwards, "And I finance this evil."
Finance the evil.
There you go. That's pretty freaky. Yeah, and then we have. Here's a freaky one on Lee Harvey Oswald. And this is 3 months prior to the shooting in New Orleans.
The fact that I did live for a time in the Soviet Union gives me excellent qualifications to repudiate charges that Cuba and the Fair Play for Cuba Committee is communist control.
And here he says, "Hear them, the wish to kill president." So he was aware of an assassination plot 3 months prior by other people, and he was listening to them. Okay. Anyway,
wow,
we can do a whole show on JFK. If you want to do a whole show on JFK, we can. But I've got it all laid out: the plot, what happened, who the actual real killer was. I've got him on tape confessing. So.
Wow, man, that is interesting. So you've got the story from beginning to end, including the confession of the killer.
Yes, I do. Well, here, let me play the confession of the killer. Okay, he was a mafia hitman. He's currently in jail on murder charges, and here he is. He's talking forwards, and he claims that he was the shooter behind the grassy knoll. So here we go.
Did you ever notice if any of those rounds hit that sign?
No. I don't know if anybody else has did it or not. As far as I know, their rounds never hit it. I know my round didn't hit it. Like I say, I fired one shot. I was on target.
And here he says, hit him with my round.
It ended my round.
It ended my round.
Wow.
It ended my round.
That's what we call a congruent reversal. So he says, I fired the fatal headshot on JFK, and the reversals confirm his story. Hit him with my round. That's name's James Files is his name.
Wow. Now, James Files, did you get that name by reverse speech?
No. He's fairly well known among the whole JFK conspiracy circles. Mm-hmm. So he's been claiming for years.
Is there audio tape of George Bush saying, "I don't remember where I was on the day Kennedy was assassinated," although he was in Texas that day?
Now I've got George Bush, not on that particular one here. I've got him giving a eulogy for Ford, talking about the assassination with a very interesting reversal. Listen to this.
Even the dark clouds of political crisis gathered over America. After a deluded gunman assassinated President Kennedy.
And here he says that the crime avoided Ike.
The crime avoided Ike.
The crime avoided Ike.
He's talking about Eisenhower, known as Ike.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like Ike.
Eisenhower was part of the cabal of high-powered people in Washington who wanted JFK killed. And he says the crime avoided Ike because Eisenhower was never implicated in the assassination, but he was one of the planners behind it, according to reversals.
Through reversals, have you ever determined why they wanted JFK dead?
No, I haven't. No, I've got to admit that's a bit of a mystery. The only thing I've got all sorts of theories. Like he's wanted to dismantle the CIA. I mean, he was wanting to get rid of the military-industrial complex. I mean, he was shaking up the status quo everywhere he went. So I mean, he had so many enemies.
Kind of like Trump.
Just wanted him out of office. Sorry?
Well, David, I think you need to get to work because that's exactly what Donald Trump is doing. I wonder if you may be able to prevent a JFK-style situation there. Do you realize that?
Yeah, well, I've actually got some reversals on Trump talking about a assassination. He's aware of plots. For example, here's one here.
But that means recognizing the right of every country, including our own, to look after its citizens. We would put other countries first. We had people running our country that truly didn't know what the hell they were doing.
He says, sinister tag bullet.
Sinister tag bullet. Sinister tag bullet.
In other words, he knows that there's a bullet out there with his name on it. Tagged. He's been tagged, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And here we have another one that's a bit concerning, which is not in this folder. All right, we'll go back to a previous folder, and where's the one? Okay, here's the one I'm looking for.
You have some great people. Sean Hannity is a great, great person.
And here he says, and I shall be killed.
And I shall be killed.
And I shall be killed.
You hear that?
I did hear that.
That's scary. That's scary. He's got to watch himself. I know he's got private security as well as the Secret Service. I wouldn't trust the Secret Service if I was him. he needs to pour all the money he can into securing himself.
Is there any reverse speech of him saying he knows it's going to be the Secret Service?
No. That's just my own.
An inside job. Now, I do understand. I haven't corroborated this, but I think that he wears a bulletproof vest underneath his jacket.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. I don't know whether that's true or not. I don't know. I have no idea. I've got no reversals about it.
Well, if there ever was a chance to right this country, it's right now. And I got to tell you, man, it seems to me there's a whole lot of people out there gunning for him. He must know that. I'm thinking what he ought to do is just stay in a bunker until he gets this country right. But right now, the whole government industrial complex is filled with Obama surrogates, man, and their whole job is a massive attempt to undermine him.
Right. Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, he's got real problems among the people around him too.
Do you guys in Australia have any Trump-like personalities?
Oh, like Trump? I don't think anyone's got any Trump-like personalities. No, our politicians are all very boring and boring and staid. What can I say?
When you look at your politics in Australia, David, is it center, left, right of center? Where's the majority come down in your country?
Oh, I don't know. Probably to the left, I would say. Yes, probably leaning left. Some people would call us a socialist country because of our socialised medicine and other welfare programs we have. So yeah, I guess we lean to the left.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never.
Have you? We were in the first hour. We were talking about the wall. Which is a big deal over here. Enough so to catch your attention to reverse speech some things. But do you have anything from Vicente Fox when he says Mexico is not going to pay for this wall? Is he reverse speech him saying, well, yeah, I guess we're going to have to pay for it?
No, I haven't reversed that speech. I should have a look at that one. Yeah, no, I haven't reversed it. He gave that in Spanish, though, didn't he, with a translator?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What they need to do is reverse speech everyone who comes up here and grabs America money from our Social Security industry and sends it down to Mexico. We need to tax that to pay for the wall. All right, here's a question for you. It says, have you ever uncovered a reverse speech of a public official who confesses to murder or hiring a hitman?
Ooh. Yeah, Bill Clinton. Talking about the death of Vincent Foster.
Oh, man, let's hear it. I knew that guy did it.
Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. I got to find my Clinton file now. Clinton.
It should be a big one.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I was thinking it should be a big one for Clinton.
Oh, yeah, it is a big one, actually. Clinton, okay, here's Clinton. Okay, Vincent Foster. Where's Vincent Foster? Okay, here we go.
Told him to come see me on Wednesday, which was the day after he shot himself. It broke my heart. We've been friends for more than 40 years. We lived next to each other when we were little bitty kids. He was a remarkable man, and I miss him.
And he says, silly hit, nerves are worn.
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 So, he knows it was a hit. Mm-hmm. It was silly. He didn't agree with it. And his nerves are worn. He's afraid. There's a lot of stuff going on around here. So he knows Vincent Foster was a hit. So there you go.
So any confession where Vincent Foster says he was doing Hillary?
Oh no! You know what? I've done nothing on Vincent Foster. I should go and do that. That's that rumor has been around for years, decades now. Yeah.
Well, that's what they say. That's one of the top reasons why he was hit.
Right.
Because he had the goods on Hillary. She tried a bunch of women and they wouldn't go for her, so she went to Vince Foster. But anyway, have you ever heard of a guy named Larry Nichols?
Larry Nichols. Yes, I have. I vaguely recall someone sending me some reversals on him. but I wouldn't know where they are. So no, I can't help you with that.
So David Oates, you must have like a master file. I mean, is it like everybody in the world is in there? I mean, top people. I mean, how many different people do you have in your file system? Estimate.
I would have no idea. Hundreds of them. And as far as reversals, I've got hundreds of thousands of reversals in my computer.
Okay. Do you have any on Mr. Rogers admitting he's gay?
Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Sorry. No.
I need a thought bubble that says, did I just say that? Okay. All right. What about Martin Luther King?
I got a couple of Martin Luther King. Yeah. I haven't done a detailed analysis on him, but I got some pretty good reversals. For example, here's this one.
To speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands.
And here he says, the Lord, he does believe.
The Lord, he does believe. The Lord, he does believe.
Either God believes in him or he believes in God. You know, it's basically a congruent reversal. Here we have another one.
Go back to Louisiana. Go back to the slums and ghettos of our northern cities.
And here he says, organize a unit.
Organize the unit. Organize the unit.
He's just getting his people motivated to get out there and get together and, organize.
Did he predict his own assassination?
Look, I don't know. Like I say, I've only got 3 or 4 reversals on Martin Luther King. He's someone I haven't looked at in any great depth.
When you get a suggestion for a reverse speech, is there anyone that you've done that doesn't have any reverse speech, or does everyone have reverse speech?
Everyone has it. Never done anyone yet in my whole career that never has reverse speech. Now, sometimes on a public speak, I might only get 1 or 2 reversals in a whole speech, which is very frustrating when that happens. But no, everyone has reverse speech. Yes.
Yeah, and for those that didn't see our last broadcast, I think we were discussing in that one how the evidence of humans in general, we're always saying one thing, but maybe we're saying another thing. They call it body language. They say, and I've heard that it's as much as 75% of how you communicate is body language. And then, of course, we also discussed how that it's well known that if you answer a question and you look down, typically you're lying, and there's 4 different ways you look. So it's almost like the body almost is designed to tell the truth. And if the body is lying, then the mouth is lying, the voice is lying, but the body is continually to try to tell the truth. Is that a design in humans? You think, David, as to why? And I guess we're getting to the why there is such a thing as reverse speech. Is it evolution? I don't know where you're coming down on that. Is it design that we were made that way to tell the truth? What's your take on all that?
Oh, I believe we were made that way. We have been designed to be honest. And over the years, the decade, millennia, we have learned to be dishonest. But yet the body has many ways that forces us to be honest. Body language, as you said, eye movements, reverse speech. I believe there's other forms of unconscious communication that we haven't discovered yet. But we are hardwired to tell the truth. And if we tell an untruth, then the body and the mind will correct that untruth in some way. Yeah.
I wonder if it's anything related to that, say when you go to what some of the Christians believe is the great white throne judgment. You got to go up there, and some people say you have a life review, and I imagine that there ain't no lying. When you're having a life review, there ain't no lying there either.
Yeah, I have no idea on that one. I don't know.
Have you reversed reverse speech anyone that said where we go when we die?
No, I haven't. That would be an interesting project. You've put an interesting thought in my mind. I would love to do that. Yes, I think you'll probably find some people talking about past life experiences on YouTube. I might even go and Google and search for that. I'm curious. Yeah.
Well, there seemed like there would be a wealth of knowledge sitting there rather than, of course, it's obviously important if somebody predicts their own demise, or if they can identify, a killer for some, or crime or something. So there definitely seems to be some useful aspects to that. I mean, while they may not be admissible in a court, it certainly would be instructive in one's decision-making process to lead somebody to a deeper understanding, or getting more facts to find out. But that is something that people are always searching the internet for, whether it be about near-death experiences or in fact just what's in the afterlife. Nobody seems to know, but those in the near-death experience camp claim that they all, and they've been on this program, they all seem to have similar stories. And I just mentioned kind of one of them. I said Christian there at the beginning, but it's not always that. It's just the near-death experience people say they have some kind of life review. And then of course, if there's a past life involved, has any reverse speech ever delineated that they're saying they had a previous life?
No, I've never found any reversals refer to a past life.
If you dedicated your reverse speech analysis to somebody who says they've had multiple past lives, would that be the person to see if they're really telling the truth?
Yes, it would. That would be the way to find out. Yes,
it's almost like a lie detector test.
I haven't researched that at all, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm. Guest 620 asks, is reverse speech ever pointless gibberish? But I think you said that almost everyone. But now it really does it. You said that you've never not got reverse speech. So is it a matter of stick-to-itiveness, David, that you have to continue listening until you get something? And could that require hours and hours and hours and hours of analysis? That's exactly right. That's what it takes. Yep, you stick at it till you find it. Mm-hmm. And it can require hours and hours and hours of analysis. Uh-huh. It's why the field's so small. Why not too many people are take up, because it's very time-intensive work. You got to be a particular personality type to devote yourself to reverse speech. Have you ever reversed speech someone under hypnosis? Oh yeah, many times, several. What do you get? Is it different? Very clear reversals. Exceptionally clear, just like the forwards. It just will reveal extra information about the issue you're looking for. Now, very clear reversals. Do you get involved in hypnosis yourself? Yes. Oh, yeah. I have a very busy practice. That's how I make my living. I work over the phone with clients. I analyze them for reversals. I find out what the unconscious pattern is, and then I use reverse speech to design a particular form of hypnosis that I call a meta walk to rewire and restructure the unconscious. And we could do a whole show just talking about this. I get amazing changes, whole lives turned around. Isn't that dangerous to rewire somebody's psyche? Yes, it is. Got to be very careful. Have you ever messed up somewhere and, like, say, caused a man to turn into a woman or something? No, I haven't not look quite that bad. No. But I have made mistakes in my early days. Oh, yeah. What would it be, David? What mistake have you made? I'm sorry? What mistake are you talking about? What did you do? The one I can think of at the top of my head was a young man who we did reversals on him and talked about parental causing problems when he was 2 years of age. So I put him under hypnosis, reverting back to 2 years of age, and changed the metaphors back at his age. Anyway, 2 days later, he rings me and says, "David, I've got to come and see you. Something really bad has happened." And he walks in my house crippled. Anyway, it turns out that when this guy was 2, he had polio. Mm-hmm. And what my hypnosis did was brought back the symptoms of his polio. It scared the daylights out of me. So that was Would you have to go back in there and reverse wire that? That's exactly what I did. Yep, that's exactly what I did. And did that work? Yes, it did. Yeah. Wow. As it turns out, I think it would have gone in anyway. I think he just had an initial reaction to the meta-walk anyway. So. Do you have to have a license to hypnotize somebody? I'm a certified hypnotherapist. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, so when you were getting your training, I guess, or your education, did you get hypnotized yourself? Oh yeah, many times. Yes. Did you have any benefit to that? Oh well, I don't know. It's a relaxing experience. I think your thought become more clear, and
I don't find anything intimidating or threatening about it. It's just a nice, relaxing experience.
Okay. Have you ever reverse speeched Julian Assange or Bill Cosby?
Bill Cosby, I haven't. Julian Assange, we're actually in the middle of doing that right now. Someone's actually sent me some reversals, and I haven't checked them yet. So,
well, now there's somebody that needs to be reversed. I'll tell you, because he's upsetting a lot of people. And I don't even know why he's still around. I would have think they would have picked him off, but I guess he must be in some kind of secure area. But the spy industry in America hates him.
Oh, I know they do. Hang on. Here's some on Assange. Oh, I've got some. I didn't know I had some. Okay.
That'd be under J.
Okay. Here's Assange.
How big a role do you feel WikiLeaks had in the outcome of the election? You didn't think Donald Trump was going to win.
I didn't think Donald Trump would win. I thought the establishment, for want of a better word, would see Hillary Clinton losing, and then would pile in more money and more energy, and various TV networks are on her side.
And here he says, evil, the fraud with media.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, well, that speaks for itself. The fake news that Trump talks about. Okay. Here he gives some information away about the sex charge in Sweden.
Government corruption that's impacting the lives of people, not superfluous, scandalous lives of big stars.
Yeah, we don't publish. We don't publish it. I think.
He says, "Field lover, my Prada was naughty." So I think he had an affair in Sweden. That's what happened.
Wow, but isn't he wanted for a crime though?
Yeah. Well, he's wanted for questioning. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, like I say, I don't know why he's still alive. I guess maybe they're just actually some people that in the spy organizations that have not authorized the sign off to have him exited from the planet. But I do know he has a lot of enemies. So is that one? When you take a Julian Assange, a kind of a change maker, so to speak, or a current public figure, do you look in the news and just kind of pick the latest, greatest change maker, so to speak, that's messing? Is that where you kind of focus your attention to see what those people are really saying?
Yeah, well, I'm watching the news all the time, and I grab the latest controversial speech or whatever and reverse it, and publish my finding.
What's the latest? Who's your latest subject in that realm that you're analyzing?
Well, actually, right now I'm doing someone completely different. Actually, I'm doing someone by the name of Donald Marshall, who claims to have the government is cloning people, and I don't know. So,
wait a minute, he sounds like a good guess. What's his name?
Donald Marshall. Donald Marshall. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's been around a fair bit. Someone's actually paid me to analyse him. So if I get paid, it moves right up to the top of my list.
Wow, that is honest honesty right there. I like that. Just tell the truth, man. If it pays better, they go right to the top.
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, I'm a businessman, mate.
So what about Alex Jones? You got anything on him?
Oh, yes, I do. Let me see if I.
What's that boy up to?
I've got a funny one on Alex Jones. He's an interesting character, isn't he? So
yeah, I'd hope that you'd have one where he's talking about taking male vitality. What's he really saying?
About taking what? Sorry.
He's always hawking his. He's got a drug called male vitality. And,
does he?
Yeah, so that would be a good one. That would be a good one to reverse speech. What is he really saying about that? But anyway, what do you got on him? Anything?
Okay, so here's Alex Jones.
And they wouldn't pay. And I mean, that pissed me off.
And here it says, "I am Satan."
I am Satan.
Aha.
Oh, Satan.
There you go.
I am Satan.
So there you go. Make of that what you will.
Well, I'll make it what he just said. He is Satan. Just go figure. He's a fat Satan, but he's a Satan nevertheless.
Oh dear.
I was hoping, because he sells this product called Male Vitality, I was hoping he reverse speech. It says it really doesn't work. I'm just stealing your money. I would think that would probably come up.
No, I've nothing on that.
Is there any way to reverse speech somebody, say, in the stock market, and any kind of way to try to find out where to place your bets? Maybe even
I'm actually surprised I haven't had more people utilize me for doing that. I've done that not often, occasionally. I've had some people approach me to do reversals on the stock market trends, and reversals have been pretty accurate. They've been able to actually predict the trends of the stock market. So, but it's something I've done.
Have you made any money from that? Have you investment?
No, I don't know anything about the stock market. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Mm-hmm. No. But like I said, I've had a couple of clients over the years who have utilized me for that, and they've done quite well.
So you reverse speech yourself about how often?
I reverse speech myself?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah,
well, I actually hire out one of my analysts to do reversals on me when I need it done. I find it hard to do my own reversals.
Mm-hmm.
You tend not to be objective. Mm-hmm. So I always get someone else to do my own when I've got issues I've got to work through. But I do it fairly regularly, on a fairly regular basis.
Mm-hmm. When you, as you went through some of these reverse speech, it seemed like you diagnosed it yourself, you analyzed it and gave it the meaning of it. For instance, the one where Hillary says, "I am Satan," or probably a lot of leaders say they're Satan. But could another person say, "I heard that reverse speech and I got, instead of 'I am Satan,' I am sitting"? Have you ever had a conflict like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely, many times.
Well, how do you know which one is true?
Well, I've developed a series of checkpoints that every student has to follow, 7 of them altogether. They analyze the linguistic structure of the reversal. Is the consonant and vowel sounds clear and precise? Are the beginnings of endings of words clear? Is there enough syllables in there? And all of my analysts must follow these steps religiously. If they're followed religiously, you can reduce the subjectivity quite a lot. But it is a problem. Yes, it is. And like I found one on Rosie O'Donnell the other day that said God's healer, and someone said to me, "Well, is that God heal her, or is that God healer? Is she the healer of God?" So so there's the question. So
is it a matter? Is it a matter of consensus?
Oh yes, it's a matter of consensus, and what I think meets the criteria the best. And obviously, we can't be 100% perfect all the time, but language is like that. There's always grey areas, and there's grey areas in reverse speech too.
Early in the first hour, David Oates, you reverse speeched a dog. Did you ever reverse speech a cat?
Oh, you are getting me to scrape the bottom of my barrel today, aren't you?
Yep. That's what a cowboy does.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, here's a cat. And backwards it's, "I need water." There you go.
Wow. That's pretty dead clear there. Somebody get that cat some water. Well, listen, David Oates, it's been a great time with you again, coming on the Edge broadcast. Tell people how they can they reach you, join your classes, and so forth and so on.
Yeah, well, you can go to my website, which is www.reversespeech.com, or call me on my American number. It rings at my desk here in Australia. It's 503-568-7077. That's 503-568-7077.
Okay.
And thank you for having me on again, Daniel. I appreciate it.
Okay. Did you enjoy the broadcast, David?
Yeah, absolutely I did.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Can we have you on again sometime?
Absolutely.
All
Anytime you like. My pleasure.
All right, my friend. I appreciate you coming on the show.
No worries. Okay. All right. See ya.